Hey everybody, how's it going? It's your boy Durante, back at it again with another episode of Keep Talking. Today, we're doing something a little different. I got a question for you guys. What do you think when you think about preparing, prepping? Like a doomsday prepper. Somebody that goes into a bunker, somebody that hides out in the wilderness, lives off the land. Well, what most people do not understand is a lot of that stuff is fantasy. It's not real. The guy who survives a nuclear apocalypse and lives in the woods and hunts deer and stuff, and he was an accountant before it all went down. It's not real. So today, guys, I'm going to break down some of the essential things that you guys need to make it for at least 72 hours in case things hit the fan. Let's jump right into it. There's 3 essential things that you're going to need to survive in the SHTF scenario. Food, water, and shelter. Actually, there's 4. I left off security. But most importantly, you're going to need water. The average human consumes and needs about 1 gallon of water a day to live. And that's really including hygiene, and that's at the very, very minimum. Ideally, you want 2 gallons per person. Whenever clean water is not available, especially after some kind of nuclear apocalypse, some kind of radiation in water, you're going to need ways to clean your water. And with that, you have this mini filtration system right here that can filter almost up to 100,000 gallons of water. And it is definitely something you should have in your bag. A lot of people don't think about clean water. They just assume that water running down a river or a stream is drinkable. And boiling water doesn't always work. For having emergency water that is, obviously water is not perishable, but water that would not gain any algae or any bacteria, I have this SOS food water here. It's all prepackaged water. I have quite a bit of them actually over here. Quite a bit of things here. I'm gonna break it down for all you guys. I've already gone over the water. Next, I'm gonna break down another essential that everybody knows and loves is food. Primarily anything high in calories. This is when those candy bars, those granola bars come in handy. But for me, I have these MRE style ration kits here. And these things have about 2,400 calories in them, and it's packed full of enough nutrients and energy to get you through whatever scenario comes your way. There's a whole lot of reasons why you're going to have to choose energy foods over satiating foods, because when the grid goes down, there won't be any cheeseburgers, there won't be any pizzas, there won't be any of that. You're going to have to learn how to live. Shelter is very important. If you can't get shelter from the elements, most people who enjoy this domesticated life that we live here, they're not going to make it, especially if they don't have any background whatsoever in creating shelter or knowing how to find shelter. So, depending on your situation, guys, you always want to have different options, but for me, I have this sleeping bag here that I picked up at the local store. Extremely durable, great for cold weather, and you always want to have it even for warm weather as well, because you're not really too sure what kind of critters are out there at night while you're laying down. And depending on how big your pack is, mine is big enough, and I have enough physical strength that I can carry a small size tent that carefully can tent 4 people in, but it folds down into a very minuscule pack, even smaller so than this sleeping bag, believe it or not. You're gonna need security, shelter, is no good if everybody knows where you are, what you have, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to come get it. So with security, of course, I have a bunch of these lights here. You know, you always want to have flashlights in your kits. I have a hand crank light here as well in case of EMP or nuclear attack and the batteries are rendered obsolete. I have these bad boys. You always want to have light because, you know, without light, you know, humanity is stuck in darkness. In your shelter, you're always going to want to find a little bit of comfort. At your little camp that you set up, finding ways to take care of your hygiene is going to be very important. Here, I have found at the local store a way for people to have a sense of normalcy in a post-grid down scenario, or any kind of scenario for that matter. I have here a solar shower that holds 5 gallons of water, and the way this thing works is you fill it up with 5 gallons of water, and the black front here that you have collects heat, and it collects heat at a very alarming rate. And this thing right here, once it's already, you know, all the way heated up, this thing will feel like a hot, smoldering shower out there in the middle of the woods. And it's definitely a great way for a lot more safe than taking a shower in the river and possibly getting infected with something. Whenever a lot of these things are not available, most cars and most first aid kits nowadays come with these rolled up emergency blankets here. They're small and they're meant to retain body heat. Not to say that they always do the best job, but these things definitely come in handy when you're in a pinch. If you're inside of a vehicle and you're stuck in a blizzard somewhere on the interstate or something like that, you can always line the inside of your vehicle with these and cover up the vents to keep the heat inside of your vehicle. And it's definitely a great tool to have in your back pocket in case you are struck with some kind of cold weather emergency. And they're available at just about anywhere. You can find them at your local dollar store, and like I said previously, most first aid kits now, most of the more expanded ones come with them. But there you have it, folks. This short video was here to break down some of the things that you would need in a post-grid down, post-nuclear attack SHTF scenario. Things that you would definitely want to have in a bag close by your door, because you never know when that time is coming. And you definitely want to be ready and not be that person that's caught not being ready. Of course, this is not a long-term kind of build here. This is more so, like I said previously, for a 72-hour build until you can figure out more of this situation around you. But if you have at least this much right here, you are ahead of the curve over 90% of preppers, or so-called preppers. So, with that being said, stay frosty, everybody, and keep talking.